We feel small. We feel unworthy. We can't fathom being the generation that's going to bring the ultimate redemption. Many reassure us that we're a generation that lives on the shoulders of giants. The framework has been laid. The foundation is there. All we need to do is lay the final bricks. But still, there's that niggling thought in the back of our head. Is it really possible? There was a king, and as all kings do, decided that he's going to make a tremendous party, a lavish feast and banquet in honor of his only son. He invited everyone, all the neighboring towns, to come and celebrate for this most incredible occasion, celebrating the king, the kingdom, and the prince. And for months they prepared, and the king told his young child of the amazing day that's going to be. And they had suits custom fit, and the entire palace and kingdom was redecorated, fresh paint, new chandeliers. Everything was going to be perfect. And the child understood that this was an incredible day, and he as well looked forward with anticipation. Finally, the day came, and the child woke up early, took a shower, and put on his perfectly fit new royal garb. And he just couldn't wait. He barely was able to eat breakfast. And as noontime came, the time that the banquet was set to begin, the child was so excited. And the child came running into the main ballroom. But there were only a few guests there. And he bumped into his father, the king. And the king said to his child, "Some guests still aren't here. We're going to wait a little bit." And the child, a little bit upset, but totally understanding, went for a walk, went out to the royal gardens, and went to enjoy. It would only be a short time till the most magnificent feast would be had. And an hour later, he comes running in again, and there's more people there. And he looks for the king and he can't find him. And finally a butler comes over to the son and says to the prince, "Not yet. There are many people here, but still, some people are missing. Your father told me to tell you, it's going to be another hour or two." At this point, the kid was a little bit upset, and he went outside, and he thought, how could people be late? This is the feast of the century, a feast for myself, for the king, for the kingdom. Why are people not here? And he was growing angry and upset. But again, he realized, soon enough, the party will be had. And after waiting and waiting, he didn't hear the royal fanfare. He didn't hear them calling him into the banquet. And he decided enough was enough. He was going to start regardless if everyone was there or not. And he dashed towards the palace and he flew open the doors. And the room was full. And there were so many people. And everything looked perfect. And the chandeliers were sparkling. And all the tables were set with the finest china. And slowly the child took a deep sigh, a deep breath. He realized, finally, we're here. Everyone is here. People are enjoying. So slowly he started walking up to the front, and he started getting more excited. And as he looked to the front, he saw the tremendous podium set with a table for two, for him and for his father, the king. And as he got closer, he felt someone tugging on his arm. And he looked and he saw it was the king. And the king motioned for him to come to a side room. And he walked with the king out of the main ballroom. The king shut the door behind him. And very calmly and patiently, the king looked at his son in the eye and said, "I know you're waiting for a long time. And I know it looks like everyone is there. And everything seems perfect." But the king turns to his son and says, "There are a few stragglers that aren't there yet. Some people didn't make it. We have to wait a little bit longer. Each and every person is just so important to us." And the son looked at his father's eyes and he realized his father was correct. He was brought up with such a mentality, how each and every person in the kingdom was so beloved and crucial and critical to the entire majesty. And he realized at once that of course they were going to wait. Of course they had to wait for those last few people, because only then can the celebration be complete. Only then could they truly have a feast in honor of the king and in honor of the kingdom. Rav Aaron Karlin explains that that's where we're standing right now. We're standing in that ballroom, and the room is almost filled to capacity. It seems like everyone is there. It's magnificent. It's shining. There's food. There's wine. It seems like the party is ready to begin. The Mashiach is waiting at the door. Like we're told so many times, everything is in order. Everything is set. But Hashem says, my son, I can't bring the Mashiach yet. There are a few stragglers that aren't there yet. How could the Mashiach come without each and every person in the kingdom? We are those stragglers. And as Tisha B'Av falls upon us this year, we have to take a moment to realize, what could we do to come back home? We want to join in the party. We want to be there when Mashiach comes. We need the Beis HaMikdash. All Hashem is waiting is for us to be a little bit better, for us to take a little bit more, to do a little bit more, be a little bit nicer, learn a little bit more, mend our ways. And there's no greater time than right now in Tisha B'Av, that we could come back home, we could turn to Hashem and we could say, we're finally here, we're those last few stragglers. So indeed, we are a generation that is upon the shoulders of giants, and the framework is laid and the foundation is there. But perhaps even more is everything is set, the banquet is ready, and all we are those few stragglers just waiting to come home to our Father, so that the ultimate banquet, the Mashiach, could come so very soon.